So this looks like the perfect honeymoon in paradise, right? But what if the whole honeymoon thing is a bit of a prank, and the couple, well, isn't a couple at all? We're going to break down this amazing trip to the Andmaan Islands that's really a story about friendship, big adventures, and some surprisingly deep moments.
Okay, that title is pure clickbait, and you know what? It totally works. It makes you ask a million questions right away. So we meet our two creators, Abhi and Jeshri, on what they're calling their honeymoon, a trip that, as we're about to find out, is all about their platonic friendship, not a romance. All right, so their adventure kicks off on the open water. And, even a simple ferry ride from Port Blair to Havelock Island becomes this little test of how they travel together and how they interact with everyone they meet. So check this out. On the ferry, they've got these awesome window seats, but so do a couple of German tourists. And instead of some awkward standoff, they just make a deal to swap seats halfway through the trip. It's a tiny little thing, but it tells you so much about them. They're just friendly, open, and not awkward at all. And that dynamic? It gets even clearer the second they get to their hotel room. There's zero debate about who gets the bed. Abhi just automatically takes the floor and he jokes, "It's just like in our house." This one little gag pretty much explains their whole relationship. It's super comfortable, almost like their brother and sister. Then the trip gets a little more personal. They do this impromptu Q&A session right there on the beach. And by answering questions straight from their followers, we get this really raw, unfiltered peek into their friendship. First up is a classic, gets right to the heart of it. This is their chance to really define their friendship for everyone watching, in their own words. And their answers are so different, but they say so much. For Jeshri, it's that he shares her exact same kind of crazy. And for Abhi, it's simple, her laugh. See, there are no big flowery speeches here, just these small, really genuine things they appreciate about each other. Of course, with a title like Honeymoon, you know their audience wasn't going to stop there. The questions started getting a lot more practical and way more personal. But they just shut down all that speculation with humor. Their answer? Hey, even if they did share a bed, there'd be a giant wall of pillows right down the middle. It's such a witty way to just draw a really clear line.
But nope, their followers still weren't done. They pushed it even further, asking probably the most direct question you could possibly ask two people on a supposed honeymoon.
And their answer is just as direct, non-existent. It's blunt, it's funny, and it's the final word on the matter. With that one answer, they put all the speculation to bed. This is a journey between two friends, period. Okay, so with all the questions answered, it's time for the main event of the trip, the underwater adventure. And for Abhi, this is a huge deal. It's his first time ever scuba diving. So here's how it all goes down. First, a really light lunch. Then, about 15 minutes of practice to get the hang of things. And then, the main event. A 30-minute dive. This is the moment Abhi's been waiting for. A mix of excitement and nerves. But the dive ends up being more than just a cool activity. It actually turns into this mini lesson in marine biology. Their instructor explains how coral reefs are basically like big, bustling neighborhoods for fish. They provide food, shelter, the whole shebang. It's this really powerful, up-close reminder of what we stand to lose with climate change. And get this, they also learn this wild fact about clownfish, Nemo. Turns out, if the dominant female in a group dies, the biggest male in that group will actually change its gender to take her place. How crazy is that? It just adds another layer of wonder to the whole experience. The second Abhi gets back to the surface, his reaction is just pure joy. You can tell he's already hooked, saying he wanted to go even deeper. It's that classic, unfiltered thrill you get from a first-timer who just had their mind blown. So, the end of their trip isn't some big, loud finale. Instead, it just kind of winds down with this quiet, really thoughtful moment that might actually be the most important part of the entire journey. Their last night is just perfect. A simple candlelight dinner right there on the beach. It's their chance to just chill out and really soak in the last few moments of their adventure. But the evening has one more surprise. Jeshri brought a gift for Abhi, and it's something she's clearly put a lot of thought into. The gift is a book about Veer Savarkar, and Abhi's reaction is just immediate and so genuine. He explains how passionate he is about this historical figure, saying he believes Savarkar planted the seed for the independence. It's such a deeply personal gift, and it just proves how well Jeshri really gets him.
So in the end, this whole trip that was packaged as a honeymoon was actually this incredible exploration of friendship. And it leaves us with one last question to think about. Beyond all the beautiful scenery and cool activities, what does an adventure like this truly reveal about the people we share it with? And maybe, just maybe, about ourselves?